Hi guys, it's Joy and another sit and chill video. I'm a little frustrated. I had stuff ready, but we have had some weather stuff hit. Is it happening with y'all? I think it's around the country. Like there was some Arctic blast or something, and the next couple weeks are just gonna be awful. Like we had a big ice storm, I think back in like October or November. I think it was November that cut out power for a few days and for some people like a couple weeks. And I'm in Oklahoma, but we've had a pretty mild winter, and I was like, yes. Once February hits, I start getting pumped because I'm like, it's close to spring. Because since I'm more south of the equator, once March hits, that is the start of it getting nice again. And in all the years I've been in Oklahoma, the weather's been fairly mild compared to I'm from Kansas City, and we get all the extreme weather. So we'll get 2 feet, blizzards and stuff. Not every time, but that is not uncommon. But yeah, it just decided to get so cold. So I'm like, I'm a mess today. By the way, I have my hoodie that's stained with tea. To anybody who's asked, no, I have not yet brushed my hair today. It's so funny. I'm just gonna talk about this for a second. All the Trisha stans who want to make fun of my appearance, and I constantly get the brush your hair, which is partially why I did the I'm going bald video. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. I really hope you guys like the thumbnail. I was crying making it. I'm like, oh my God, this is making me, I just hoped it would make you guys giggle. Because obviously I don't think I look like I'm going bald, but this is me waking up with my hair and it still looks pretty thin. We'll see. Also, it's cold, so I've got, look at these boots! Look at these boots! I love these. I love them. I have them in 2 other darker colors. They're rainbow sequin because I'm an adult! I'm gonna be 37 next year. How am I alive? So I thought I would just do a little sit and chill video and we'll see if it uploads. Nothing will upload, and it's not YouTube. I'm pretty sure a lot of the power is down where I'm at. I'm lucky that we aren't out of power, so thank goodness for that. I should feel grateful. But yeah, I had a really frustrating experience. And it's not YouTube related. Funny enough, I'm fine with YouTube. You get a thick enough skin, right? And I know the areas I'm going into, and I know the things I'm saying aren't going to be well received by a lot of people, and that's okay. That is okay. I'm used to it. So yeah, just be looking. I'm going to have some newer content out this week and some sit and chill videos and then some other different type of videos. I'm really loving the Britney videos, and thank you to everybody who's supporting them. I would love to do more content like this. I just haven't had the algorithm built yet. So I'm working my way up there. But okay, let's talk. I'm pretty frustrated about something. Something happened. So this is going to be a bit of a health video, just so you guys are aware, for anybody who wants to hear this kind of thing. I had a health setback, and it's weird. I'm equal parts irritated, but I'm also equal parts happy. It's just hard not to feel disappointed. So first of all, let me give you guys an update. I am now at where every morning when I wake up, I have worked up to where I walk 25 minutes. So I have a little treadmill, and I will walk whatever setting it sets you on. What is it, 3.0, whatever that means. I start there, and then 5 minutes towards the end, I will scale it back to go down to, not 3.0, what is, I don't know. I think it starts at a 1, but then you can go down to point whatever, and the lowest one you can go to is 0.5. So the last 5 minutes I go down to 0.5. I started at 5 minutes. So, and over the last month or so, and it's really good because I'm getting back my morning routine, which is really good for my health. And it's a little frustrating because I talk to Rumi, and every so often we do a finance talk, and it's hard because he's got a big heart and he's a wonderful person, but he knows part of my condition is about stressing, and he doesn't want me to stress. But that means sometimes he'll hide things from me that are issues until it's about to explode, which is not fun. So, we just had to talk about finances, and that was some stressful stuff. It is what it is. Because I'm in this, as you guys know, I'm in all chronically ill people, really. Even on disability, because disability makes us into poverty. And that just bothers me. Nobody cares about the chronically sick, disabled, the veterans. Nobody cares. And I'm really glad that we have more social awareness on, racial inequalities and minority issues. I'm getting itchy. I'm very, very glad that that's, if you see me scratching, by the way, a lot of histamine stuff, because the weather, anytime the weather goes extreme one way or extreme the other, histamine, and that means I'm super itchy. But that's kind of great, because that's one of the only things at this point, aside from weight, Like a lot of the other symptoms, like my throat closing, the asthma, a lot of that is just really diminished. So I'll take being itchy, but I might look like I'm on something I'm not. Also, because it just got super cold, my skin will get super dry very quickly. Yeah, but I'm really glad we know more about women's issues and minority issues, and we've been educated, but nobody still seems to care about the chronically sick. And I think it's because we're too sick to do anything about it. That's really what it is. And that's why I like to be a voice for a community of people that has just been kind of discarded and neglected, you know? I gotta kind of keep calm, or I gotta try to. If all of a sudden you see a jump cut and you see like a carton of yogurt and some water, you're gonna understand why. So I'm cooped up in the house a lot. I'm used to it. But it's been a lot more lately. But with it being winter, with the fact that I had like a month and a half of something, still don't know what it was, something I couldn't get rid of. And I'm still a little bit recovering. I haven't really been able to go on nature walks. Not that I could really do too much. I could maybe do 20 minutes by myself. Sometimes I would have to turn around and I couldn't. Now there's also no sunlight. And I also, up until about November, I was doing sunlight therapy, is what I call it. So basically you go outside, typically like minimum an hour, sometimes 2, for in between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. and you get direct sunlight on you and you have your eyes exposed to the sun. It's supposed to lower your histamines. It's supposed to help reset your microbiome. It's supposed to do it regulates your circadian rhythms. It helps put in balance all kinds of things, but the weather's been too crappy. The sun's not out. It's too cold. So I haven't been able to do that, and that really affects my health. And the other thing is, Rumi got a promotion, which is fantastic. He's just killing it with work, and I'm so proud of him. The problem is that he's taking on more responsibility, and it's a lot more his situation is just a little bit more stressful with work. He keeps a lot of it away from me, but it is. And you got to remember, like, he helps be a caretaker to me and a very old dog. And the old dog, she really needs a lot of help. She can't see. We think she's got dementia or Alzheimer's or something. She'll circle and circle and get stuck in places and can't get herself out. Like she'll get to a wall and get stuck and she'll cry. And somebody has to come get her. But because of my vagus nerve issues, I can't like bend down to pick her up most of the time. So I keep an eye on her, but he's the one that does the physical work. And also our dog, she doesn't have any more teeth. We had to get her teeth removed because once we had gotten her teeth were already in really bad shape. So we were just trying to maintain and preserve what was there. So her teeth are gone, so we have to cook for her. So all of her meals are cooked, which he does. She likes eggs, and I can do eggs because they're easy, but it is what it is. It's just it's a really frustrating scenario for him. And so I've started trying to take off some of that burden. So I've been making breakfast for him. So I will go walk, and then I make breakfast for him. For me, I eat once, on rare occasion, twice a day. This is why I get so frustrated when people are like, what'd you do to lose weight? How do I do it? I'm like, you don't do what I do. What I do is very specific for my health. And there are other things as well. Like I've always liked, intermittent fasting. I don't recommend that to everybody because with whatever your health issues are, it could really backfire. But having a histamine disorder, it helps keep my histamines low. Also, I'm super worried about loose skin when it comes to weight loss. And one of the ways you can do that is to stay in fasting mode. I don't recommend anybody do that if you have loose skin. Don't do anything I'm telling you to do because I am highly monitored and I have a lot of people I work with. And so just don't hear what I'm saying and think that's what I should do. But I've always been worried I'm going to lose all this weight and just look disgusting because I'll be a bag of skin. And I can't get surgery because of my conditions. Surgery has to be like it's saving my life situation because it's not safe for me. So there would be no cosmetic surgeries or anything like that. And the person I'm working with has said they've seen almost nobody have the loose skin issues on the program I'm on if I follow it. And a lot of that is being very disciplined. Now, if I am having an issue or I need extra food, I'll make an omelet, a cheese omelet, or I'll make some eggs at night. But typically I eat once a day, like in the, like right around noon. So anyways, I get up, I walk the 25 minutes and then I make him breakfast. It's oatmeal. It's not that hard. It's water and getting the oats. It's funny. You don't think about things being too hard, but then when you're chronically sick, some things feel impossible. but it's doable. You know, I cut up a banana, blueberries, honey, some cinnamon, like walnuts. Not that big a deal. And for him, it's like, because he's so busy with work and helping everybody else out, he could go all day and not eat, and it can really mess with him. So he's been telling me, you know, just the fact that over the last week I've started helping with breakfast has been great. And it's hard though, because Rumi doesn't communicate. So many times it's like trying to get him to communicate is pulling teeth, and I'll be like, oh, now I see what's happening. So, and I think I'm in the health place to do all of that, right? Walk and then go do that. And then typically I'll get in the shower and I'll prepare either that day, or what I try to do is I have stuff like ready and available for the next day's videos. My videos typically have to go up the night before because of the monetization process. It's a mess. I try to respect it. It's where YouTube is at, but I can't typically just put up a video randomly. I have to give a few hours for the monetization process to go through. So I'm getting there, I promise. Why am I frustrated? Why do I have a frustrating day? Well, I just want to get out of the house. I'm used to stir craziness, and I guess I don't, even though I'll feel tired of it, I don't really, like, I found peace in it, right? Because of my situation, like I've talked about. But I just, you know, want to get out. And I listen to a lot of, like a lot of times in the morning, I have my favorite tarot readers. I love tarot readings. I know, super scientific. It's just kind of like it's kind of like a daily meditation for me in a sense. And it helps me kind of get clarity of mind and helps me maybe guide me in what decisions to make. And I saw these 2 readings, and both of these readings were talking about you need to get out, get fresh air. And so we were out of a couple things, and I was like, well, I'd kind of like to go. And this will happen. I'll feel fine. I'll get in the car, and as I get in the car, my stomach starts feeling hungry and weird. And depending on where we're going and how far it is, I'll start to have issues. And we have to go to Whole Foods today. And Whole Foods is like it is a drive. It's like a 20-25 minute drive. And as we get onto the main road, I start having the hunger pains. And I'm like, oh, what is this? Because the problem is, it's like, for me, I have to do a check and balance. Is this actual hunger, or am I about to go into a flare-up? Because right before I go into a flare-up, I'll get those hunger pains. It's my body saying, put something in us. Like, your blood volume is low. And I brought water with me, so I was drinking water. And, you know, we made it there okay. And lately, I've been able to push myself, even as far as I don't feel great, but I'll still go in a store. And I'm masked, but it has to be a quick trip, and we don't really stay too long anywhere. I finally found a mask that doesn't bother me as much. So if it's a quick trip, I can do it, but it's fairly loose. So I'm like, is it really helping? But we were gonna just go in and out, and I got in there, and I didn't tell you guys, I'm up to, on my diet, I'm up to a half a cup of carrots every day and a half a cup of beets. Now, I have to boil them for 50 minutes because I guess the beets are high in oxalates, and I'm still got to get my body used to eating them. And then once I work up to a cup, I'm hoping in the next week I'll work up to a cup. Bam, here come my baby onions. I love onions. Onions are one of my favorite foods. You get some olive oil, some sea salt, some pepper, some garlic in there. Oh, it's amazing. So, like, I used to always do sauteed onions with, like, every meal. So I am so excited. And onions have so many good benefits and properties. So, yeah. Like, things feel, so the things are going well there. So I needed to get some beets. We're always making, like, Dwight jokes about it. I'm a beet farmer, because it really does stain your hands and stuff. And I never really ate beets before all this. But, okay. So, Dwight, beets. Okay, so I thinking about going into Whole Foods, and I'm like, I had a feeling, don't go in, don't push it. And I was like, no, I want to get out. I need to be somewhere other than, like, the house. And I know I'm in the car, but I want to be somewhere. And when you walk in, you immediately are in the vegetable section, and we go to get the beets, and it's like, and I can feeling funny. My stomach's growling. I've got my water, so I'm like chugging water, right? Got my smart water with me. And then I go to grab the beets, and I stop, and it's like my stomach drops to my feet, and all the blood rushes out of me. Heart rate skyrockets. I look at Rumi. I'm like, episode. I don't know what to do. And I'm thinking, do I push through this? That is a very stupid thought. The answer is always no. But I'm in the middle of the store. I can't strip down and lay on the floor. Because that's always my instinct. You lay flat and you get as cool as possible, right? Can't do that in the store. I'll freak people out. And I've got the mask, and the mask is exacerbating what's going on. So it's making it worse. And I'm like, so I just start holding the mask out. And I'm like, if anybody's mad, I don't care. I'm literally going to black out. So I decide, against all better judgment, and I shouldn't have, let's continue on, because it's a short trip. Like, we're getting beets, onions, Parmesan, butter, and now yogurt so I can have something, because yogurt always helps balance me out. And I pushed on, and I'm in the back of the store. And the thing with POTS and dysautonomia, with this heart stuff that happens, it'll come in a wave. It'll hit, you're going to pass out, and then you can feel a little bit stable for a minute or two, and then hits again. It goes back and forth. And so I'm in the back of the store, and I'm like, because we go from there to get onions back to the store. I feel like I'm okay. Boom, it hits. I'm like, we got to go. Let's hurry. And God love Rumi. He's really mellow and laid back. So getting him to rush with anything, but he knows my condition. He's just not one of those people that's going to rush. But I'm like, we have to go. And then, so we grab the yogurt, and even though I have plenty of yogurt, this is like, it's a carton, because I have to, everything I do, I have to have very specific things. Trust me, I hate it. It's very annoying, my situation. And I'm like, we need a spoon. Oh my God. And what's the scary thing is when you go through this, that walk from the back of the store to the cashier, or the back of the store to, where they have the prepared meals to get the spoon. And even worse, that thought of that walk from the back of the store to your car is impossible when it's happening. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm trying not to rip off my mask because it's going to freak everybody out. And people aren't going, even if I were to pass out on the floor, a lot of people are going to be mad if the mask is off, even though the mask is making it so I'm, this is happening. And I don't blame the mask, because I've been able to do short trips with this one mask we found, and it works-ish. It's not great, but I can do it. I wasn't feeling great. I was having those stomach hunger pains. It's just so weird, because so many different things on my body can mean different things, and I never know when to push and when to not. And this last week, I've been pushing myself, and today I pushed even harder. I did my 25-minute walk. I made, Rumi his breakfast, and then I did 15 minutes of dishes. I unloaded the dishwasher, rinsed everything, and loaded it. And then I did laundry. To all of you, it's like, that is no big deal. What are you complaining about? That is a lot for me in my physical state. Remember, I went from bedbound to having to work up to walking 5 minutes. Like, my body is a mess, guys. And I overdid it this morning. And I don't know why it is. Once I get in the car, I'll be fine at home, but I get in the car and my stomach starts to do weird stuff. And I'm like, what? Why? I don't know. I don't know if it's like the vibration of the car moving sets something off. It could just be it could also be the fact that it was cold. Maybe I have some hydration issues. Sometimes I do, but I brought water with me, but it might not have been enough. But anyway, so I am fighting this episode, and my heart is going up, and I'm feeling really hot. So I'm starting to take off my coat. And it's super cold, so, it looks weird. And it sucks because I feel really rude, because I was like, I need a spoon, but there's no way we can walk to the just a few feet to go get one. So, Rumi's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, screw it, let's go. Because there wasn't a lot of people. We try to shop when there's not a lot of people. And we're standing in line, and, there are, I want to say this nicely, because there's no insult in saying this. We were there kind of in the morning where there's more elderly people who are working there and who are shopping, and more power to them. That's the best time, it's time when they can take their time and do what they need to do, right? And good on them, right? They have physical issues that makes them take a long time, but I am impatient, and under my breath, I'm going, come on, gotta go. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm terrified. What I'm doing is looking rude to everybody, because I'm not trying to rush an old person. I'm trying to keep not passing out. So I'm saying things to almost like, I don't know how to explain it. In my mind, it's like if I do that, I'm speeding up the experience, which I'm probably not. It just looks rude. And it's not even something I feel bad because I feel like I'm being rude. But honestly, in that moment, that is the best I can do. And that's the tool that I have at that moment to do everything I can to not pass out. And I'm trying to focus on quickly getting to the next moment and quickly getting the next moment. So, the thing I hate the most is, one of the fears I have the most is, one of my biggest fears is making people uncomfortable, which is weird because I have a whole channel where I challenge popular opinions and things. So you wouldn't think, but I know what that feels like, to feel unwanted, or, people don't want you around, or to make people uncomfortable. I don't ever want to make somebody feel that way. Right. So I hate that. And I feel so rude, but I'm clinging, guys. And here's my concern. My concern about the POTS and dysautonomia episodes, if I black out in a store, except for Rumi, nobody's going to know what to do with me. And even if medical professionals came, I'm afraid they would screw it up I'm sorry, I have watched too many medical professionals. They don't know what to do with me. Most of them don't know what POTS and dysautonomia are, and they could do things to make it worse. And I don't trust them. Like, I remember when I had to get my tilt table, I forget, but like, basically it's when they test for POTS dysautonomia, they test your heart. And so what they'll do is, you have these two ladies, and the ladies were angels. They were so nice to me. And this is when I was like huge. I was just like a month-ish into my diet, right? In 2019. So we did the tilt table test, and they strap you down, and there's this like, it's an upright table, but it goes all these different directions. So you stand upright, there's a ledge, and then they strap you in, and they'll put you at this degree angle and this degree, and they'll measure your heart rate, your blood pressure, and then they'll give you, I don't remember what it's called, but it's something that like for like a minute or maybe 30 seconds will stimulate your heart and make you go into an episode. And I was terrified of this because even though I was at a hospital, I was at a cardiology center, I was like the Oklahoma Heart Center that knows what this is and knows how to help. I had so much, I'm getting emotional. I had so much trauma from like being mistreated by medical professionals, and not even just, oh, you're mean, them putting me in harm's way because they don't know what they're doing with me and they're not listening to me and they don't know my conditions. I hate to say this, but I have to remind myself, many medical professionals were the guy down the street that barely passed school, just limped through, drunk the whole time, and they're just doing it as a job, and they don't fully understand what they're doing, or they're new. And you can't do that with me. Like, it's dangerous. So these episodes are really scary because I feel like I can't rely on anybody but me. And I can rely on Rumi to an extent, but Rumi also gets passive about communicating sometimes. This is something I've worked on with him. Like, if I'm having an episode, I've had to work with him, and we are in an ER together. He has to be my advocate to direct them what I need. And that might sound crazy, but they don't know. A lot of them have no clue what POTS and dysautonomia are. They ask me, tell me what this is, and I have to educate them. They don't get it. And I'm not mad at the ones that are trying and don't know, but some of them will just arrogantly do whatever they want and they don't listen to you. I've had so many bad experiences with medical professionals. It's really frustrating. It reminds me of like, and I don't really want to talk about it, but I've had good and bad experiences with ambulances, probably more negative than positive. And I have all the respect in the world for ambulance people. But this was like early on into my illness. Well, not early on, but like as we were really trying to figure it out. I'd been trying to figure it out, but it was just like whenever, like my life halted, like in 2016, and we had ambulance come and they weren't listening to me. And they told me we're going to go to the ER, and then we stayed for like 15 minutes, and I was having really bad dehydration issues. I'm like, I need an IV, I need some help. And they wouldn't give me anything. And then we just stalled. We were just sitting in the parking lot for 15 minutes. And I would ask what's going on, and they held me there. They wouldn't let me go. Like, they were holding me against my will. And I was like, okay, I need to get up there. I'm having dehydration issues. And they won't give me water. They won't give me anything. And I'm like, and they wouldn't let me go. Finally, after about 20 minutes, they open the doors, they take me out in the stretcher and say, so we're having an issue with the vehicle. We don't have all the safety stuff we need, so we're going to wait for another vehicle. And I'm like, nope, and I bolt. And they were so mad at me, and they were trying to gaslight me, and I was like, I'm leaving. They're like, you can't leave. I'm like, call the cops. What are you going to do? And I'm in an episode, so I am just trying to get out, and Rumi didn't know what was going on, and Rumi was like, just listen to them. I'm like, no. They held me there for 20 minutes and didn't take me to the hospital and didn't tell me what was going on and wouldn't let me leave, and they won't let me, get hydrated. That's what I need help with. No. And I was like, and they were basically acting like they could hold me there against my will. And so I challenged them. I said, call the cops. Call the cops. I'm going to go to the hospital. Why don't you take down all our information, call the cops. The cops can meet me at the hospital to arrest me because I know you're full of it. Like, I've had to battle with so many of these people, guys. Long story short, I find out, and then they would get frustrated and go, just get back in, and angry. And what I found out was, well, we messed up and we didn't check our equipment correctly. And it's like 4 a.m. And if you want to leave, we have to have you sign paperwork, but we have to let our boss know. And he's going to be mad if we have to wake him up. We're going to put me in jeopardy because you guys messed up. Oh, I was furious. Anyways, I got to the hospital. I got my IV. When I say IV saline, part of my condition is fluid issues. And I don't trust, especially like EMTs, and I'm sure there are great ones out there. I don't trust them because I've just had too many bad experiences. I've had some wonderful people too. So I'm not trying to act like all medical professionals are awful, because they're not. And if you're one of those angels, thank you. But people will take one look at me. They see I'm disheveled. They see I'm anxious because my condition is nerve-wracking. It makes you, when your heart's not working, kind of hard to be calm, even though I try. And I'm a woman, and I'm, kind of a hyper person. I'm immediately written off. It's so frustrating. So these episodes are scary. I know how to fix them, but when you can't, and you have to rely on the people around you, it's scary. If I were at home and it started, lay down flat, it wouldn't have started, because well, sometimes emergencies will come up, but I kind of know how to deal with it. So we make it through the line the whole time, and and I feel bad because we have an elderly cashier, and under my breath I'm going, come on, I gotta go, come on, we gotta go, next step, to the car, next step, and I'll start talking about the next steps. I'm not doing it loudly, but this is what it's almost like I'm trying to affirm to my body, I'm trying to set my body for, this is what we are doing, program it like a computer. But I feel horrible because I'm I hope nobody thinks I'm being rude to them. And I'm not looking at somebody saying it. These are things I'm saying to myself, but I hate looking rude. I hate it. And especially to some elderly people. They can't help that they're going slow. That is their right. That is where they are in their life and their bodies. And yet I don't want to make some big scene going, hey everybody, I'm gonna pass out. I'm not trying to be rude, because that's uncomfortable. It's just such an uncomfortable situation to be in socially. And I don't want people to see that there's an issue, but I've got my hand here, right? I've got then my mask I have to kind of keep a little bit out because it's overheating me, and it's going to make me go into where I don't want to and pass out. And I was lucky because we were able to get out of there, got to the car. I gotta be careful because I'm getting worked up and not great. We got the yogurt, and funny enough, they had a little fork, knife, spoon thing at the checkout. I'd never seen that before, so we grabbed one. I got the yogurt. I can't really lay down in the truck flat, but I can basically when I'm in the truck, and this is what people will tell you to do for POTS, if you can kind of have sit in this kind of position, so my feet up on the dashboard. If you don't have my issues, don't do it, because my understanding is it's not super safe. If you get in a wreck, that can really mess you up. But I'm having an episode, and I need my blood flow. I need my blood back to my organs, so we're trying to work on blood flow. And I didn't have any salt. I need to get salt for the car, because the thing I need yogurt helps so much. It immediately helps. You need water, yogurt, and salt. At least I do. And not fun yogurt. We're talking flavorless, organic, tastes like a bowl of sour cream. So I'm slowly sipping on that, getting my water. And within about 5 or 10 minutes, I was able to get control quite a bit of the episode. And I was actually, as frustrated as I am, I was pretty happy. Once I got in the car and I was able to chill, I was able to get a hold of it. These episodes, when they used to happen, or especially when I had that, whatever it was, I'm going to call it a virus. I don't know what it was recently. When the episodes happen, they can last hours, this back and forth. And then even once you're over it, you're weak all day and have to be very careful. So I was really happy because I was okay, if I did have an episode out in public, at least I was able to get a hold of it. And I was able to get a hold of it in a short time period. And I was able to go through the store. That was not smart. I should have just bolted out the door and gone back to the truck. But it is what it is. So you might think, why am I frustrated? I haven't had an episode in months out in public. That's why I'm angry. I think the last one was March. No, I think it was April 2020 when we had to start wearing masks. And I didn't know that I can't really wear most masks. And I went to Walmart by myself. That was a real fun discovery there. Because I overheat. And overheating will cause an episode. Because with dysautonomia, we have a hard time regulating our temperature. Which is why, if you guys want to know, I take cold showers every day. That might sound counterintuitive, but cold showers are all about... the goal is you shock your nervous system, and it ends up boosting your immune system, and it kind of gets your nervous system in check. So that's why I do cold shower therapy. And And I'm sure of this. Many of you have probably heard, there are people, especially like the Nordic countries, like European up north, where they'll take like ice baths in a frozen lake. And, I don't know if the lake is completely frozen, but, like they'll do those real extreme things. They'll do the ice baths and the saunas. Well, it's really good for so many things. Your nervous system, your lymphatic system, it's supposed to be really good for you. So I'll go take a freezing cold, and we're talking like wash my hair, get everything wet, shower, as cold as it can be. Like cold to where like my ears are hurting, I have a headache. And then I go get in it's so nice. I'll put clothes in the dryer beforehand, whatever I'm gonna, typically whatever my pajama outfit is for the day, because why actually dress up unless I'm on camera? And then sometimes I don't. And then I come out and it's freezing, but I put on really warm socks and warm clothes. And then I have like, my savior. A few months ago, we got me a heated blanket. I don't know why I didn't have one before. I have one, the pup has one. And I'll get a heated blanket and like 7 big blankets on me, and I'll try to get warm. So yeah, I'm frustrated because I felt uncomfortable and felt like I was on the verge of an episode several times, but it didn't happen. And I've been able to push myself more. And it makes me angry at myself. I feel like the carrots a few weeks ago more. I get really hard on myself when I feel like I failed. And I feel like I failed a roommate who's trying to help me. Like I get really hard on myself because here he's helping me, and am I getting better? And then the paranoid thoughts, am I ever going to be able to be independent? Will I ever be able to be on my own? Is this just some pipe dream I have? And I'm just, it sucks every day that I live with the knowledge that me being alive is stopping him from having a life, but I wouldn't be here because I don't have any other sustainable help. And it's not that I don't have friends that don't care about me, but guys, it's a decent part-time job to help me. That is not an exaggeration. And like sometimes I'll start kicking myself like, well, I should try more. Let me try to do the dishes. Let me try to, like I did today. Okay, Rumi's stressed. I've been doing his breakfast. Okay, you know what? I know the dishes stress him. I haven't done dishes in a while, but I'm going to do those dishes. And then doing all of that and then trying to go to Whole Foods, boom, too much. It's like sometimes I almost, I've had so much gaslighting happen to me in my life as a result of being ill, and sometimes I think I do it to myself. Well, maybe you're not even that sick. And I'll push myself, and then I'll put myself in a situation, and then I feel guilty. And I feel like I've messed up, and I've messed up months of this and that. You know what? At the same time, it's going to happen, right? That's part of my condition. Things are going to come up. It's just really hard because I'm working so hard to try to be independent and be on my own. And it's this impossible task, and I'm trying to do it, and I'm taking it on, and then something like this happens, and it like reminds me that it might not be possible. How do you do this and have no family support? I don't know. I'm stuck in these impossible catch-22s, and I don't like it. Hey, I'm not unique. Welcome to being chronically ill, right? I know a lot of people who go through it too. But there is some good. Here's some good news. The last major episode I remember having was like a year ago. Almost a year ago. April of 2020. And that was because I was wearing a mask. Now, I've had stuff where I wasn't feeling good or near to or close to episodes, but I got through it. So I'm looking at all of this and I'm trying to tell myself, look how far I've come. And instead of it taking hours or all day, it took like 10-ish minutes to get control of. I've got to be careful. I'm still feeling, even now, I'm feeling a little funny. I can feel my stomach and my heart. Sometimes they'll start going in tandem. The stomach will start doing these weird hunger pains and the heart will feel weird, right? And I'm, just so you guys know, I'm actually cooking. I have to cook the vegetables first because they take so long, and then I'm going to cook some Parmesan chicken. We've had to lower my protein and up my fat intake because of cyst issues. So yeah, I'll do like, it's literally a whole stick of butter, like 100 grams of, chicken, and then like half cup of Parmesan. And it's not too bad. It's fairly tasty. I mean, it's okay. I don't like this stuff, but it's okay. Like, it's more tolerable than the other things, right? But yeah, this was really frustrating. But I'm trying to remind myself, look, I tried carrots in like January and I couldn't do it. I had a setback. And now look, we're into almost the middle of February, and I'm at a half cup of 2 different vegetables. And probably the next month or two, I'll probably add 2 or 3 more, and then we can work on raw. And maybe I can one day go back to tomatoes and having a taco salad. That would be heaven. And avocados. Do you guys remember avocados? Like, seriously, my first big cheat meal, if I can ever, when I can actually do one, is going to be taco salad and cookie cake, birthday cake. It's just a big cookie with icing. It's my life. That's going to be, but that's not for a while, because even if it was like, okay, now you can try sugar, we're talking like a eighth of a teaspoon I would start with to see how do I react. Like, there are all these checks and balances that I have to do. Nothing there, that's just what it is. The person that I'm working with, she has had my issues and is fully recovered and fully in remission. And she keeps her health routines. I think I need to move somewhere warm where I can consistently do this sunlight therapy stuff. But that's not for a while. So yeah, frustrating day, frustrating setback. But the good news is I got a hold of it quicker. And also I can tell myself, I think today I just physically pushed myself too much. How stupid is it that a 25-minute, and we're not talking like a Oprah power walk. We're talking like what would be slow for most people, a 25-minute walk, making oatmeal. Ooh, oatmeal. Half cup of oats, cup of milk, in the microwave, blueberries, cutting up a banana, walnuts, honey, cinnamon. Oh, that's so hard. Laundry, picking up the laundry, carrying it in, turning it on, putting the soap in one by one, making sure each item of clothing is fine and goes in the right way, nothing's stained. And then dishes. And I think the dishes is what put me over the edge, because I'm not used to it. I haven't built that up. I can't tell you how pathetic I feel. I've had a lot of successes in my life, and there are so many things I can do. And you don't know this, I'm a very athletic person. Always have been. I'm really good at athletic stuff. So to know that, unloading the dishwasher, rinsing some dishes, and loading it was too much. I didn't even put the soap in because I was like, I'm not feeling well enough to bend down. Bending sometimes is hard for me with my condition, because all the blood flow goes one way and then the other. But I'm going to keep going. I am now, I think, 18 months into my diet. 18? What is that? September 2019, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, 10 months. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, 18. I'm almost 18 months in. I have 6 more months to go of it being as rigid as it is, with no carbohydrates like bread or pastas or things. And I'm not going to stop now. This is why I really want to emphasize, when people want to know what's my weight loss secret, it's getting healthy. Do not do what I've done for weight, because it's very specific to my health. Weight loss was a great side effect of fixing my health. And what I do is probably not going to be good for most other people, not in my situation. Eating, once a day and having to be so limited, that's not how I have to do things is not healthy. This is why my hair is falling out. This is why I have the bald video. And I just always want to emphasize that to people. Don't ever listen to what I'm doing and think you should do it for you. Now, if you have POTS and dysautonomia, then I would tell you, and you have a histamine disorder. Yeah, take what I'm saying and do the research and talk to your medical professionals, but don't just go start something, because this is intense. What I'm doing is intense. But I have to if I want to be here. I don't have a choice. So yeah. I just thought I'd give you guys a quick update on where I'm at. And I'm just trying to remind myself, I had a setback. But look, a month and a half ago, I couldn't eat vegetables. And I was really sad. And now I'm up to, I think today I went up to about 3/4 a cup on each one. I'm so excited to hit that. Every time I hit a cup of the veggies, and right now the beets and the carrots are going tandem with the amounts, I get a new veggie. So I'm excited. I can't wait for, like I said, taco salads. Remember taco salads? Taco salads, because you can have, I don't know if I could have salsa. I guess if it didn't have sugar in it, but it would depend on what it has. I know that that tomatoes can trigger histamine reactions, and I think they're high in oxalates. But I think we're going to get to a point where my body can handle that stuff. I don't know when, but when we do, I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to scream it from the rooftops. So you know what? That's the other thing, guys. When you are on the path to healing an illness that medical professionals are going to tell you, by the way, I'm swiveling, I think, because I'm nervous. Like I'm getting anxiety from talking about this. But when medical professionals, if you have an illness that they tell you can't fix and you set out to fix it and to go into remission, you're going to have setbacks. Things are going to happen. And as much as I put this weight of ultimate responsibility on me, and it's kind of, I mean, it kind of has to be there because every day I'm here, I am holding back Rumi from having a life. That, it destroys me. The guilt of that destroys me. But we know if I don't, I'm not going to be here. We both know that. It's a horrible situation. I'm just trying to remind myself, setbacks are going to happen. It's a constant learning process of where my body is at versus how much can I push it. For me, typically the answer should be don't try to push too much. But I don't want to get so into my anxiety about my illness that I don't try to see what I can do. But for me, trying to see what I can do most of the time is going over the limit. That's the kind of person that I am. It sucks. I'm like that with work. I'm like that with survival. I'm like that with my body. So I just have to be careful. And I have to have faith that for some reason, me and Rumi have been put in this situation together. I am to say I'm lucky and blessed to have him is the biggest understatement. I would not be alive without him, you know? So I don't ever want to sound like I'm criticizing him or putting him down because that is not my intention. We all have strengths and weaknesses, you know, and when he's caretaking for everybody, there's only so much he can do to work on himself. Not that he's like a horrible person at all, right? It's just a hard situation. We come to that conclusion all the time when we get frustrated with one another. At the end of the day, it ends up being, we care about each other. This is just really hard. And everybody's well-intended, you know? But there's a reason that we came together. There's a reason I'm in this situation. There's a reason I have a platform to talk about it. And there's a reason I'm going through this. And I'm determined to get better. I don't have a choice. If I don't get better, I'm not going to be here, guys. This is what it is. And something in me just feels to share it. I have faith that whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen, and somehow there will be good from it, even if it's not what I want, and even if I can't see it. And that's what keeps me going and reminding myself I'm human. I can only go so far and I can only do so much. And just because I put impossible expectations on myself doesn't mean I should beat myself up when I can't meet them, because that is part of the healing process. So it's a work in progress, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all of you so much. If you have POTS, dysautonomia, histamine disorder, you have chronic illness issues, like sound off in the comments if you go through this too. I think we all do. I think anytime you're in a situation where you have a caretaker, you go through the guilt. You go through that. There's no choice. Unless you're just a horrible person who feels entitled to, you know, taking over somebody's time and energy, which I don't. There's a lot of guilt that goes along with having to be sick and having to have a caretaker. Caretaker is, watching him go through it, one of the hardest roles. I've done caretaking roles, but not with chronically sick, with just horribly selfish, mean people. But I don't think, it's not the same. It's not this, it can be to an extent, but it's not the same stress level as you have to help this human stay alive. Even though in my situations, if I didn't do that caretaking role, then I wasn't going to be able to exist. So kind of similar, but not, you know? And if you're a caretaker out there, you know caretakers, more power to you. Send them this video, because I think caretakers are unsung heroes. So many family members put their lives on the line to help their family. No, I mean, not me. My family doesn't care at all about me. Or I would say it's like they don't care enough to help me. They would need to make up in their minds that I'm lying so they can justify continuing to be selfish. That's always who they're going to be with me. And that's, I'll say things like it's fine. It's not fine. It's not okay. But I've had to learn to accept it. I have to learn to accept the things I can't change and do what I can in my situation. And I'm so lucky and I'm so blessed that I have what I have and I am where I am, so that I can continue on this path to get better and be with you guys and do everything I can to build up my life. So thank you. I love you guys. Lots of love, lots of hugs. I do hugs and kisses, but I'm not wearing a bra and I don't really want that to show. By the way, it's so cute. I've heard some of you guys in the comments going, you're brave. I can't do that. It's like, I mean, honestly, like as long as the shirt's big, I'm just trying to keep me alive. That's why everybody who complains about my hair, I know, guys, sometimes I've just brushed it and it looks horrible. I get it. I have tiny hairs everywhere and it looks weird and patchy. Can't help it. I can't help it, you know? But I'm also not here to look good for everybody. I'm here to do what I need to do to stay alive. And if I can look good for me in that moment and I want to, fantastic. But nobody is entitled to get to have what they want by looking at me. I'm not your piece of art aesthetic. Like, people are so weird, and women especially, women get so judgy with women. It's always interesting to me, like if you sit down and talk to most men do not care about the things women care about. Do you think men actually give a crap if our nails are done? Nope, almost none of them do. Why do we do them? Because we're women, and that's what we want to do to feel pretty. It's our art, and there's nothing wrong with that. You want to do your nails all day, every day, girl, do you. It's just funny how we judge one another. But I don't care. I'm not here to look good. I'm here to stay alive. And if I can look good and stay alive, fantastic. But many days I can't. All right. Take care. Much love. Blessings. I'll keep you guys posted. And I want you guys to know I don't want you to worry. I'm okay. I'm going to eat. I'm going to relax. I'm okay. But this is frustrating. Sometimes I think I'm better than what I am. And I'm like, being 18 months into this, shouldn't I be more into remission? But I went through all that crazy work with that former company. I went through that lawsuit. I just went through changing channels, getting sick for a month and a half. I've had a lot of setbacks, and it's life. It's going to happen. If I were just able to dedicate all my time and energy into getting better, I think it'd be a different story. And maybe one day I'll have that, but that day, that's not now, and probably not anytime soon. So you do what you can, and everything happens for a reason. All right, I'm going to go because I'm repeating myself. Bye, guys.